Klonoa 2. Never heard of it? Well, Namco was never very good at marketing these games. Klonoa was a short-lived series that was intended to be a second mascot. However, Namco was also accused of never marketing these games very well. As a result, pretty much all the games sold very poorly. Ironically, the first game goes for a lot on Amazon and eBay, but according to Namco, it is the only one to actually have sold fairly well. It was enough to convince Namco to make a sequel. Hence Klonoa 2. Klonoa 2 would come out very early in the PlayStation 2's life. However, due to poor marketing, the game didn't sell very well. The sales weren't necessarily abysmal, but it was not a success for Namco. The Klonoa series were going to have 2 GBA games and a remake for the Wii, and that was about it. Years later, Klonoa 2 were getting a cult following, and eventually Namco would release the first game on the PS3 and Vita, and the 2 GBA games will be released on the Nintendo Wii U's Virtual Console. However, Klonoa 2 has not been given a re-release, so if you want to buy this game, you have to get the original copy. This game isn't balls to the wall expensive, but still, you have to throw down quite a bit of money if you want to play this game. Or you could just emulate it. But anyways, is Klonoa 2 worth tracking down? Well, it once again asks the only question we ask on this show: does it still hold up? The story takes place soon after Klonoa 1. Klonoa is a dream traveler. Klonoa enters a dream that is desperate for help as it's being invaded by evil monsters. Klonoa meets up with Lolo and Puka. Together they set up to ring 4 bells to help rid the world of darkness. The plot is mostly character driven, but I find a lot of these characters kind of forgettable. They have their moments, but it's kind of generic. It's not overall bad, just kind of meh. The graphics are not great, but considering that this is an early PS2 game, it's not bad. The environments do look kind of nice at least. However, the gameplay is where this game shines. Klonoa 2 is a 2.5D game. You can move left and right and jump. You can also float in the air, which serves as a double jump, but also as a triple jump. This is where Klonoa's main mechanic comes in. You can grab enemies with Klonoa's ring, and I guess Klonoa takes up in the art of inflation by Dig Dug, as that is what Klonoa does with his enemies. Well, that's one way to solve your problems. Actually, that's how you solve every problem in this game. Klonoa is actually more of a puzzle platformer than an action one. There is some action in this game. You can throw enemies at other enemies, but you can also use them to do a double jump. You often have to use this ability to progress. The puzzle is when to use the right ability at the right time. This may sound very simple, but there are enemies that have different functions when you grab them, and each stage has its own gimmick, so it never gets boring. There are also sliding levels which are kind of fun and help add variety. The boss fights are well done. Again, they're kind of like a puzzle. You gotta dodge their attacks and figure out when's the best time to strike. The only real complaint I have is that some of these levels go on a bit too long. There are also limited lives and they are saved to your save file, but honestly, you'll never game over in this game. The game is somewhat easy. Even if you lose a life, it seems that you get at least 2 more in between deaths. Otherwise, this game is very satisfying to play. So yeah, if you can get your hands on this game, I highly recommend it. That may not be easy, but this game is really underrated. With that said, I'll give this the first 5 out of 5 in this whole series. So with that, I'm still waiting for this to be ported to the Switch.